Hi crafters, this is Jarle for Cloud9 Crafts. Thank you for joining me. Today I have this Get Well Soon card and I used some dye inks on colored cardstock. So I will be showing you how I did this. You can find all the supplies in the description box below, so that makes it easy for you to know which items I used. So first of all, we have two Lawn Fawn dye inks, the freshly cut grass and the brand new Clover ink. Then I have the giant Get Well Soon die, the scalloped rectangle frames to frame my cards, and then this new Clover background. I really wanted to pair this stencil with the Get Well Soon die. So first of all, I trimmed my colored cardstock in the color Sunflower, I think, and I trimmed it down to 4¼ by 5½ inches. I taped this temporarily on my Wendy Vecchi Make Art station, just so that my cardstock wouldn't move while stenciling. Then I took my magnets and placed down my stencil onto my cardstock. Now I wanted to use my new dye inks, but I wanted to use them onto colored cardstock. So I chose this yellow color because I think it pairs well with that Kelly green from the Clover ink. So because I really wanted the colors to stand out, I used some white pigment ink and just went over the whole stencil with that pigment ink. So this makes sure that I have my white base to work on. Now, white pigment ink takes a little bit of time to dry, so I heat set it a little bit with my heat gun so that my pigment ink was all dry. And then I just repeated that same process with that first color of ink, which is the freshly cut grass. Now I used my blending brush for this and I just went over the whole stencil. As you can see, there are a few spots that are lighter and then a few spots that are darker, just to get some more color variation there. Then after that, I put down my second stencil, which was very easy to line up with all the stenciling that I have already done with that first stencil. So I'm going back over this second stencil with the slightly darker Clover ink. I really love this new color of ink. It's just perfect for these clovers. I really like the combination of the freshly cut grass with the Clover ink. I saw this in one of the Lawn Fawn intro videos and I wanted to try this combo as well. So this is how it turned out. I really love it, just how it looks on top of that yellow cardstock. So I die cut the frame out of some barn red cardstock, and then I die cut the Get Well Soon die twice, once out of some black licorice cardstock just to get that shadow, and then one time out of the narwhal cardstock. Now, if I were to make this card again, I think I wouldn't have gone with the black cardstock to go as a shadow, but I think I would have used that same barn red cardstock as a shadow. So here I am trimming down my paper a little bit, and then I'm gluing down a second frame, which wasn't die cut properly, but I didn't want to throw it away, so I just adhered it on the back of my proper frame. And then I put a little bit of foam squares all around the frame and adhered it to my stenciled backgrounds. So here I'm releasing the backing paper and putting this on top of my panel. This large die cut really fills out the whole card panel, and this is one of the reasons why I really adore these giant sentiments. It allows you to create quick cards on the go. So again, I trimmed down lots of foam squares and put this all on the back of my sentiments. These foam squares add lots of dimension to my cards. Now onto my card base, I folded my panel with my scoreboard and my bone folder, and then just used some regular tape runner to adhere this card panel to my card base. Now you can just stop here, but I decided to take it a little step further, so I wanted to add a few sequins onto my cards. I used the ones from Picket Fence, the Iridescent Moonshine, because I think this works with any cards. I use my quick stick tool just to place them on the spots just where I want them. And then I can pick them up and glue them down with some liquid glue. This just adds a little bit of extra to my Get Well card. And this finishes off the card for today. This was a very easy card to make, just some stenciling, a large die cut sentiment and a few sequins. And I think that's all a card really needs. I hope you like this. If you do, please consider subscribing to this channel and giving this video a thumbs up. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you again very soon. Bye!